Hammer.
Yeah, I'm getting there. Yes.
My bad. Okay, pull it together, people. It's 5 o'clock. Okay.
All right.
We are going to go directly into the District of Sycamoose Development Corporation, AGM. There's a recommendation that the District of Sycamoose Development Corporation Annual General Meeting be called to order at 5:01. Can I get a mover? Councillor Bailey, Councillor Bushel, all in favor? Perfect. The undersigned consent, unanimous resolutions of the sole shareholder of the District of Sycamoose Development Corporation, the undersigned being the sole shareholder of the company entitled to vote at an annual general meeting of the company, hereby consents to the following resolutions. Resolved as resolutions of the sole shareholder of the company entitled to vote at an annual general meeting that the financial statements of the company for the period ended December 31st, 2025 are hereby approved. All lawful acts, contracts, proceedings, appointments, and payments of money by the directors of the company since the last annual reference date of the company and which have been previously been disclosed to the shareholders are hereby adopted, ratified, and confirmed. The number of directors on the company is fixed at 7. The following persons, each of whom has consented to act as a director, are hereby elected as directors of the company to hold office until 2027 annual general meeting of the company or unanimous resolution consented in lieu of holding an annual general meeting or until their successors are appointed. Colleen Dales, Mike Helfrich, and Todd Kylo. The following persons, each of whom have consented to act as a director, are hereby elected as directors of the company to hold office until 2028 annual general meeting of the company or unanimous resolution consented to in lieu of holding an annual general meeting or until their successors are appointed. Mike Miltimore, Allison Watson, Leanne Hamilton, and Tara Graydon. BDO Canada LLP Chartered Professional Accountants are hereby appointed as a public accountant for the company until the next annual reference date of the company or until a successor is appointed at a remuneration to be fixed by the directors. And June 10th, 2026 is selected as the annual reference date of the company for its current annual reference period. These resolutions will be deemed in effect as of the 10th of June, 2026. Should I refer to
I
Carl?
just have a point.
Yep, go ahead.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but under the DOSDC financial statements, I believe those are District of Sycamoose financial statements.
Yeah. Yeah,
And not the DOSDCs.
yeah, they're.
Sorry, Bianca, do you want to?
Yeah, the wrong ones got linked.
The wrong ones got linked.
So could we have a copy of the?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they were previously actually approved by council at a meeting on April 22nd. I say it was. Right here.
Didn't want
Do I just send the link around?
for a second.
Then I can access it through email.
Yeah, first.
We're on 5. No, we've got a first and second on that resolution.
First.
Ian was first and Bushel second.
So then you can go.
And then I read the resolution.
Go to Carney.
Yeah, I don't want to start. Yeah, we'll just leave this open for conversation and then we'll close. I'll call the resolution.
Perfect.
I'm just waiting for the financial statements.
That's good. We can pick. Do.
That's the only.
Do.
I assume nothing has changed, but. Go.
The subject line's weird.
Yeah,
On the
okay.
save.
It doesn't. Thank you.
I think Carly, will you be touching on the financials as well? No. Okay, just let you guys have a look.
Good.
Councillor Bushel. Are you good to go?
Yeah, no, I just have the same comment as Ian.
Yeah. She just sent it around if you wanted to take a look. I looked at, I think it's,
Everyone's got them.
yeah,
Yeah, they're all good.
thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you. Let's go right to business summary, Carly.
All right, good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm presenting this, a lot of this information was contained in my year-end presentation that I gave you guys earlier in the year, so we don't really hash over it again. I think just some of the really big numbers that I wanted to call to attention to show success were around a lot of the work that we got to get out into the public facing, through geotargeting ads going from down in the lower mainland on the island, up to northern BC and out to as far as Saskatchewan. So in total, when we're looking at numbers of views of the content that we've invested in sharing, we're well over 4 million views in 2025, coming from Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And each of those accounts are growing significantly. We've been playing with different ways to present our material out and tracking how people are receiving things and video. It's always pain, but really, really exciting. And then the other big one that is a bit surprising to me on the volume was our real-time cameras. So the 4 cameras that we have had almost 75,000 views in 2025. Our cameras, when 2 of our cameras, which are located facing the channel at Red's Rentals, when he switched to TELUS, there was a short, small gap, and my phone and email blew up. Like, your cameras are out, your cameras out. And these are for people all over the place. Right, when you explore Sigmoos on the website, letting us know. So it really does show the amount of engagement that people are continually looking at that. So it's a program that I hope to see grow because people want to see the boat launch, particularly as our top camera, the one that's facing construction and the boat launch. So and another big number that I was really happy to report was our business support section. So from an economic development side, looking at our traditional BRE is really making those important connections with our businesses to find out, how they're feeling, how they're doing, how business is going throughout the year. And throughout 2025, we did 8 specific industry support sessions and 3 industry roundtables with 204 business owners that attended throughout those sessions. So really showing that the programming that we're putting out is engaging and important and valuable to our business owners. So those were some of the initiatives that I just thought would be really great to highlight as, besides all of the other stuff we're doing. And then as we're halfway through the year, the coming in 2026 section, we've got some amazing projects that are ongoing right now that have seen some, good results. Our downtown revitalization grant, amazing. We had fully prescribed. We've got the incubator, which is ongoing, the hotel valuation studies almost done. So there's a lot of good things that we projected that we're following through on and completing. So if there's no questions on this, I can answer any questions about it, but I don't need to go through it on the field, as you guys have seen these presentations before.
Yeah. Council, do you have any questions? Okay, Carly, I just want to thank you for everything that you've done for the Active Corporation and Sneeze and tourism and everything that you've touched. You've done a brilliant job. So thank you. You're very welcome.
Thank you.
And good luck. Good luck with your future endeavors. You're going to be great. You're going to be great.
It's been a true pleasure and honor serving Sigmoos and, working with all of you guys. So it will be missed, but I'm very excited to see how it's on this path, and I'm excited to see it go even farther. So it'll be good. And I'm really I'm not going anywhere.
Appreciate that.
I will be back.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Okay,
guys.
thank you.
Thank you.
I'm just going to call that resolution now. All in favor? I know, I'm just going to close this first and I'll go into public. Okay, all in favor? Carried, thank you. Okay, then we're going to go into public. There's nothing I can change after that anyway, right? So public question period. Anyone have any questions?
Deals.
Anyone online? Okay.
And up in the.
Who?
Ally, did you put it on?
Sorry, go ahead, Ally. Please grab a mic.
Good evening. My name is Ellie Watson. I am a director on the Economic Development Board with Carly Precision. And on behalf of the board, we wanted to let you know how terribly sad we are and how we know that we are in amazing hands. The accomplishments of this woman is, I mean, honest to God, Carly, what you've done for the city is unbelievable. You've really, truly, sincerely put us on the map, and you will be missed, not just by me and the board, but by everybody in this community. Thank you.
Okay, any more public input? Then we're getting at shareholder consent resolutions. Carly.
I think.
I know, but why it says it coming up again on my,
Thought we just voted on that.
that was done, right? Yeah, exactly. I didn't, I thought.
We forgot the second presentation.
And so that's it. Thank you. I just want to welcome the board. Congratulations to the board members that are staying and, hey, you're very welcome. All right. So the recommendation that the District Sycamus Development Corporation AGM be adjourned at 5:12. Thank you, guys. Thank you. All in favor? Mover, seconded, all in favor? Bailey, McCabe?
Yep.
All in favor.
Yeah, we're all in.
So, no, I'm sorry. I was just following what you guys said up for me. We're all good.
There too. Right. I kind of find it halfway.
It's operator error. Okay. Where am I now? Bylaws and policies.
6A. 6A, okay.
Okay. Recommendation that District Sycamus zoning amendment bylaw 1125/2026 be given first, second, and third reading this 10th day of June 2026. And this is for the zoning amendment bylaw number for the mayor for 222 Mara Lake. Can I get a mover? Councillor Bailey, Councillor Bushel. June, do you want to take it away?
Thank you. Through the chair. This is a zoning bylaw amendment application for property typically addressed 222 Mara Lake Lane. Its OCP designation is a residential medium density and is zoned currently as a MR-1 multi-unit residential. Proposal is a fairly straightforward. As a on-paper zoning exercise, the property owner desired to rezone the current MR-1 zone to a MR-2, which is a seasonal accommodation. There are a number of reasons why this application doesn't require a public hearing. This is actually benefited by the Bill 44, which was in relation to the housing. And then the legislation enables the city to waive the public hearing if the proposal is in alignment to what OCP designation says. And if the partially or some portion of the development proposal is in relation to the housing, which this application fits into that criteria. Proposed zoning. So the reason why the proponent desired to rezone the property to the MR-2, MR-2 zone compared to the MR-1 is a relatively more flexible in terms of a density and then setback and then height. And then core difference between the two is that MR-2 allows the short-term rental use as an accessory use, which gives a degree of a flexibility annual option of the rationale of the application is to facilitate the 36-unit multifamily development that's going to be formed in form of a building strata in the future. This application went through a PDC at the May 20th meeting. We provide endorsement to rezoning of this application. There are a number of other informations. This application went through the departmental referral process. No objections were indicated except one minor comment from a bylaw compliance officer who just lightly noted on general consideration for the short-term rental parking provision requirement. But this is something that will be discussed at the future development permit stage and or the business license application stage. Once the council endorses the rezoning of this property, as a next step, staff will going to connect with the MOTT to advise them that provided the first to third reading, and we would seek their approval prior to the adoption. Recommendation is that the District of Sycamus zoning amendment bylaw number 1125/2026 be given first, second, and third reading this 10th day of June 2026. Thank you.
Thanks, Jim. Council, any questions? Go ahead, Councillor Bailey.
Yeah, maybe just add another thing that we talked about at the committee was that the committee, I think, felt that it was zoned wrong, inappropriate. It was zoned inappropriately in our bylaw 1100, and it should have always been zoned MER2 because everything else surrounding it is that. So that would be the only feedback that we talked about at the committee that I'd like to add. But certainly a great development. Wonderful.
Yes, wonderful.
Great developers, and I'm in 100% support.
Excellent. Anyone else? All in favor? And that's carried. Thank you. Okay, staff reports. Statement of financial information, December 31st, 2025. Recommendation that council approves the statement of financial information for the year ended December 31st, 2025, presented this 10th day of June, 2026. Could I get a mover? Councillor Beach, Councillor Bailey, Bianca, do you want to?
Yeah, so this is one of our usual legislative requirements that we produce this document every year. So embedded in it is our financial statements, which came to council at the end of April. And then also we're required to report anyone that receives a payment over $25,000 of our vendors. We're required to report council remuneration, any employees making over $75,000, and any expenditures related to them as well. Any funds given out for grant purposes, and any severance agreements throughout the year, guarantees, indemnity agreements, and permissive tax exemptions. So that's all in this document. And then this document also gets embedded within the annual report annually. Yeah.
Anyone have any questions? Okay, we'll call the question. All in favor? And that's carried. Thank you. Award for landscape construction project for the Sycamus Health Center. Recommendation that council award request of proposal 1220-20-175 landscape construction project for the Sycamus Health Center to Swan Lake Landscaping Limited for the net amount of $62,624 plus GST. Could I get a mover? Councillor Beach, Councillor Bailey. Bianca.
Yeah, so this is for all the soft landscaping works. And so a few pathways, healing garden. Don't know, did we include? I don't know if the RFP copy was included in here. Yeah, it was. And those works, there's also going to be some additional works that are not a part of this within our landscaping budget. So we're going to be increasing railings for safety and putting in an additional staircase off of the back. So that's separate scope, but this one went through the full RFP process, knowing that it's was anticipated to be over 50,000. And yeah, we were pretty happy with dollar figure we ended up getting. So this will all be a part of the RFP was ensuring through any sensitive areas, there's not gonna be any tear up of turf and all of that. So that's all being taken into consideration for this RFP.
Perfect. Thank you. Council, any questions? Councillor Bushel.
You're the chair, and I'm not sure Bianca or Dean, if you looked at the what do you call it, the planters? It calls for 2 rows of cinder block. There's like cinder blocks that match the medical center. But that round circle is in the non-disturb zone. Is there going to be, you're going to have to dig to put a base in for those blocks, are you? You're not just going to put those on, you can't just put those on the ground, right? So are we going to be disturbing an area we're not supposed to disturb?
No. So we actually consulted with our archaeologist to ensure that the provisions that are outlined in the RFP wouldn't create that scenario.
Okay.
So we're allowed to do a certain level of works, and this is within, the RFP is within that scope, so that we don't implicate that.
Okay, and then the other question, I think I brought it up to the mayor too, is, it's such a, you know, prize, I don't want to call it a park.
Green space.
We did the green space. It would be sure nice if we could irrigate it. You know, it would just be, so nice to be able to irrigate that and have a really lush, nice green grass. And, we should be able to irrigate the exterior of it without disturbing any ground, like deep ground. If you're gonna have to go down 2 inches or so to put gravel base in for those blocks, you could probably go down the same amount for irrigation.
It'll be more building up than going down. So they'll be putting in a base for those gardens, not digging in. Yeah,
So the,
there's not gonna be any digging.
There'll have to be some bigging or the blocks won't have, the blocks have to sit on gravel, They can't just sit on the grass. They'll just kind of, we're gonna build it up. We're going to.
Yeah.
So we're building a pad surface that the blocks will be based on. We're not excavating.
Okay, that would be interesting. Thank you.
and to Gord's point, sorry, Malcolm. To Gord's point, if we wanted to, we could definitely put some hoses and sprinklers out there. Like, there's nothing stopping us from watering that grass. You need underground to water grass. You can water grass above ground too. So the good old fashioned way. So let's not, I think to Councillor Bushell's point, let's not let the grass die and keep it pretty green space. Okay? Councillor McCabe.
I think Councillor Bushell was saying that you have to sub-X a little bit to get the organics out to have a proper foundation. So staff is saying that they're going to put the foundation on top of the existing topsoil. That will provide a very stable base. Even if you build that up and then put the block on top of that.
We're allowed to scrape a certain depth, but not enough to do trenching for irrigation. We will be able to scrape the grass and so forth off the surface to put the bed down, but we can't trench for irrigation.
I think that we've done our due diligence on the RFP and talking to the architect, and I don't think we need to split hairs here. I think I'm pretty sure we've got this covered, right?
Yeah, and we're also getting the archaeological sensitive area kind of staked out, so it'll be very apparent where can and cannot happen.
There were certain markers all over that space where, okay, as long as we're minding our P's and Q's, I guess. All in favor? Opposed? Councillor Bushell? And that's it. Okay, thank you, Councillor Bushell. Development variance permit. Oh, you know what? And I've been missing this. Councillor Bushell, why are you opposed to the project or to this?
Well, I don't think it's, I mean, you can't put down, interlocking bricks on organics and, well, to go up and, you have to, it's not standard practice is what I'm saying. So I don't think it's a wise thing to do. And I think that it should be irrigated myself, but that's it. I'm okay with everybody's decision.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and thank you for sharing that. Okay, development variance permit 26 DVP 004310 Hemlock Crescent South. Recommendation that the District Sycamore Council authorize and issue developments variance permit 26 DVP 004 for the property located at 310 Hemlock Crescent. June, do you want to give us, could I get him over first? Councillor Bailey. Councillor Bushell. Thank you. June, go ahead.
The chair. It's a presentation for DVP application. It's from the property address as a 310 Hemlock Crescent South. So that's a subject property. It's on a corner lot. Its OCP designation is a medium density residential, and its current zoning is a R-1 general residential. The proposal is a relatively simple, although the table appears to be a little more technical than what it is. Just jumping over to the next slide. At the present time, there is a one house that is single story, and there is a cottage, what was a garage before, and it was converted to the secondary dwelling unit through the building permit application 1.5 years ago. What proponent wants to do with this development variance application is to enable expansion of a secondary dwelling unit that is single detached. so to better accommodate her elderly mother. And there are technical, I wouldn't say hurdle, as they are relatively reasonable. There are technical things that needs to be addressed through the development variance permit. One being a setback to the northerly property line, and the other being a building separation. The current bylaw requires the secondary dwelling unit to ensure 3 meter at least, and the proposed is a 1.5 meter, only because of the existing location of a cottage. And then as it's being extended, it's difficult for the proponent to ensure 3 meter required building separations. The other thing is accessory dwelling unit size in comparison to the principal dwelling unit. Considering that there will be no additional variance required for the development density or parcel coverage or impermeable surface requirement, what proponent is inquiring appears to be reasonable, and it appears to confirm to the number of the objective that our OCP is trying to achieve, which is to diversify the number of the housing forms. Staff circulated the information with the internal department. We haven't received any objection letter from internal department nor the public within the 50-meter range neighborhood. So the recommendation is that District of Sicamous Council authorize and issue development variance permit 26-DVP-004 for the property located at 310 Hemlock Crescent South. Thank you.
Thank you. Council planning, do you have anything?
No, other than this is just a revision of something that council already passed. I came to PDC before. It's very minor variances here.
Okay, let's call the question. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Okay, development variance permit 26-DVP-005 310 White Pines Crescent. Recommendation, the District of Sicamous Council authorize and issue development variance permit 26-DVP-005 for the property located at 310 White Pine Crescent. For Councillor Bailey, Councillor Beach. June?
1 second. Bob has his hand up.
Oh.
Second.
Oh, sorry, Bob.
You have your hand up.
Bob? Are you there?
No.
Oh, he's good.
Oh, there.
You good? Okay, thank you.
Go to one slide. I got it.
There you go.
I apologize for my digital hand.
Sorry.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Jim.
Okay, thank you. This is a development variance permit application from property 310 White Pine Crescent. That's a subject property location. OCP wise, it's designated as a medium density residential, and current zoning of the property is a MUR-1 multi-unit residential. One thing to note though is that the property, despite of its zoning, has been existed as a residential, more of a single unit dwelling residential type there. Another table just to compare the what is required per the bylaw and what was approved through the previous development variance permit. So just to summarize what the proponent is looking for, year and a half ago, proponent applied for the development variance permit to build a garage that is a little bit taller and a little larger than that of what was permitted per the bylaw. Through the building permit process and his consultation with the engineer, he found out the minor inconvenience in terms of the design. It was difficult for him to align the door location and difficult to facilitate the number of engineering and code related matters. So his team, through the discussion, they have come up with a relatively evolved design, which is larger and then taller than what was proposed before. So just roughly go over the height is a 7.5 meter, required a 6 meter, and footprint is a 200% larger than what is required. And in terms of setback, to the rear, it's a 1.7 meter, and to the immediate east, it's a 2.0 meter. You will note that there was a slight increase from easterly property lot line setback. That is for property owners' consideration to seek endorsement from the council by adding additional setback to compensate the increased height and footprint. So this is a quick elevation drawings. That's a drawing new site plan, and the red outline is a new footprint of the proposed garage. And the hatched outline underneath is what was previously proposed and approved by the previous development variance permit. One other thing to note is that to seek a endorsement from community, he's also proposing to delete the existing accessory structure there. So although he will gain a accessory footprint sum on the proposed property, however, by deleting the existing old shed, overall it's going to remain lesser than that of existing. I remember that there was one question from a PDC. Although the PDC committee was generally okay with what was being proposed here, there was one question that if in the previous development variance permit, if we received a objection letter from immediate neighborhood, there was one letter we received back then, which was mainly to note about the shadow impact or the view that will be affected by the proposed garage. For this time, we didn't receive the objection letter, but we received the one letter from the public indicating they are okay with the proposed development. Recommendation is that District of Sicamous Council authorize and issue development variance permit 26-DVP-005 for the property located at 310 White Pine Crescent.
Thank you. Council, any questions? Concerns? All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Development variance permit 26-DVP-006-722 Capel Street. Recommendation that the District of Sicamous Council authorize and issue development variance permit 26-DVP-006 for the property located at 722 Capel Street. Begin a mover, Councillor Bushell, Councillor Beach. Go ahead, Jim.
The Chair. Development variance permit application from 722 Capel Street. It's not. The property location is as depicted above. It just fronts to the Capel Street. CP designation is a residential low density, and then the current zoning of the property is a general residential R-1. This is fairly straightforward variance application, which in general would be considered as a minor, that of minor nature. So there is an active building permit application, what was issued. So currently the property owner is delivering the construction of a basement digging, so to create a additional dwelling unit underneath in form of a basement secondary suite. Through the initial conversation with the agent, the original floor plan of the secondary suite contained the area that was little over the what bylaw would permit in terms of the sizing of a secondary dwelling unit in comparison to a primary dwelling unit. So what they are looking for is get a little bit of an increase of the footprint for the secondary dwelling unit, so to exceed the 45% stipulated to the 50%. So to enable the addition of a washroom, which is indicated as a tiny stair point. So that additional 5% variance that proponent is looking for is just to enable that elaborations. This application went through the internal departmental referrals. We didn't receive any objection letters. However, one thing that operation department note was that they are currently working with the proponent to consider the upsizing of the water service and then rerouting of the sanitary line on the property. Other than that, the proposal appears to be fairly minor enough. Therefore, the recommendation is that District of Sicamous Council authorize and issue development variance permit 26-DVP-006 for the property located at 722 Capel Street.
Council, any questions? Councillor Bailey.
Just one thing I want to point out again, and I think it came up when we were looking at bylaw 1100. We talked about the parcel coverage. And I just wanted to put that back at Dean to take a look at that when we update or when council updates bylaw 1100, because a lot of the rules have changed around what you can put on a parcel, and our parcel coverage maxing at around 50% and then 60% with the garage, with the driveway. I think it's a little low at this point, and it might just be a big irritant going forward. So when we do the update or council takes a look at the update on 1100, I would be looking at those numbers. That's all I wanted to point out.
Just gonna make a comment, good point, and we definitely have that on our radar.
Yeah.
When we do the zoning bylaw review, we will be reviewing our previous variances, and we saw a number of variances over the last couple of years in specific areas, and when this is one of those areas. We're gonna try and reduce the number of variances by making sure that those regulations reflect what's being built in Sycamore.
Thanks very much.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments, questions? Okay, let's call the question. All in favor? Okay, that's carried. Thank you. Okay, development permit minor 26-DP-007-225 Main Street. Recommendation that council approve development permit minor 26-DP-007 for the property located at 225 Main Street. Can I get a mover on that? Councillor Bushell and Councillor Bailey. Kate, June, you want to give us a little?
Thank you. Through the chair, this is another development permit application, that of minor nature, therefore development permit minor. It's from 225 Main Street. That's a subject property location. It's in a town center area directly abutting the Main Street, and property is owned as a C-1, town center and local commercial. This is a fairly simple and straightforward application. What proponent is looking for is to deliver the facade upgrade and improvement. So what they are looking for is to add a custom color to the storefront just to match the theme with the store, which I believe is a summer clothing store. Therefore the sand-ish color. And then they will going to improve the facade by adding decorative aluminum panels. So to imitate the like curtain and then fake facade location over there. There's a little. So that was pretty much it, but only reason why this is coming to the council's attention directly is because of we didn't introduce this application at the PDC because it was that of very minor nature. And then the improvement value estimated is far less than $50,000, and $50,000 is the verge of when it becomes a major and or minor, in a simple term. So once approved, the building permit will be facilitated so to enable the proposed improvement.
Thank you, June. Okay, any questions or concerns, any comments? Go ahead.
I think it looks great. I look forward to it. It's right beside there, the Narrows, and it's just another good clothing operation, just a nicer thing on Main Street. It's gonna be good.
Beauty.
Yeah, it'll be beautiful.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All in favor? Perfect. Thank you very much.
Rock the Casbah.
Okay, so we're moving on to correspondence for information. I think there's two pieces. One is from Mr. Greg Kylo. Would anyone like to speak to this? Councillor Bush, go ahead.
Yeah, just that, we kind of talked about revising our zoning bylaws and our CCAN bylaws. So just, it was more to do with making it jive with our community. And so we're in the works of doing that. I don't know, Dean, want to give a little bit of an update? That's fine.
So at the plan development committee discussed CCANs, the recommendation at that point to the committee was to allow staff to review shipping containers in context with the zoning bylaw update, which will follow the OCP option. So the OCP is going to be adopted in the next couple of months. After we do that process, the zoning bylaw review is going to be undertaken. As a part of that process, to revisit how shipping containers are set up in our zoning bylaw. There's a little bit of a threading concern in how the zoning bylaw treats shipping containers. They make them into buildings. We have some concerns with that, which are highlighted in Mr. Fowler's letter. There is threading concerns on what that means. That wasn't the council's intent, so we're gonna go back and review the zoning bylaw, make those adjustments accordingly.
And to that point, it was council's direction that we just go full force and tidy up and send out some letters. And so accepting some responsibility as well for not picking through all of that stuff before we moved it forward. Yeah.
Yeah, and I really thank Greg for sending that letter in, and it was brought up at PDC. We had a really good conversation about it. And because some of these things were set in motion, we've identified these gaps, and these gaps are now being worked on to fix, and they shouldn't be looked upon as buildings. And I think Dean gave an excellent presentation at PDC about the roadmap, and that report will ultimately come to council. And but I think it's well in hand. Any of the concerns that are outlined here, I think staff is well into it and looking at quite diligently.
Perfect. And yeah, again, thank you to Mr. Kylo for that, but also thank you to the community. I can't believe all the work that has been done on pieces of property and people paying attention and realizing how important it is that we are a growing community. We want to be a welcoming community. We want people coming into Sycamoose and spending their money, and we want it to look great when they get here. So I just shout out to all the folks and businesses that did take the time to clean up and make the places look better. Okay, we do have one more piece of correspondence, and does anyone want to speak to that? It was Councillor Busham,
I just,
Bianca.
I just kind of thought maybe we should just reply to this gentleman. There's just a timing issue with your utility billing and the taxes, so maybe Bianca could update.
Yeah, so when it comes to utility billing, so the annual bills, so those that do not have meters in place, per our fees and charges bylaw, those bills are due at the same time as property tax time. So yes, they're anyone that doesn't have a meter, your fixed utilities are due the same time as property tax. So it is, a bit of a hit all at once. One option, so those that are on meters, their first 2026 bill will not be due until the beginning of September. So one option, talking to Councillor Bushell about options, if council would like to, you would pass a resolution to extend the deadline this year for annual bills to align with the meter bill. I'm totally fine with that. Our annual bills are not a significant amount. They're about $80,000-$90,000. So that's fine if council were to choose to do that.
Okay, so do you want a resolution now at this point? Or
If you don't,
I guess
that's an option.
Conversation about this.
Question?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay, so I thought, and correct me if I'm wrong, when we had the discussion around budget time, our goal as a council is to get people to meter, and we want that, right? So was the idea behind this rule originally to incentivize that? That you could split it up if you had a meter.
Yeah.
So I assume that rule was made for somewhat of a good reason.
I mean, it really, why meter is done the way it is because really you want to get the usage from January to June.
Yeah.
And then you bill.
Right.
Whereas annual, you're not doing those meter reads. So we just did, okay, well, those that are metered, you do half year bill, whereas most annuals, Salmon Arm, for example, all residential's annual, pretty much there. Their annual bill is due at property tax time. You actually can get a discount if you pay early, but their due date, 10% penalty due date, is same time as property taxes.
So your view is this doesn't really matter?
I mean, this year the bills did go out a bit later than usual for annuals, just because we needed the feasibility bylaw passed. However, I mean, the due date has always been the same time as property taxes for annuals.
Okay.
So, okay, so we'll make let's ask staff, how do you want that resolution to read, Bianca?
Well, it's up to council if they want to pass that resolution. We can hang tight with the deadline. Yeah.
Councillor Bushel?
Just one question quickly. Is this the only letter we've had a complaint on? Only letter? This guy is annual.
Annual. Yeah,
He didn't explain that in here that it was annual.
no.
Okay.
Like the council likes to take some time and think about.
Can we actually, yeah,
You can pass it at the next meeting, because like really at the end of the day, it's just us not calculating the penalty
right.
on July 2nd.
So,
Yep, go ahead.
yeah, can I just have this come back next council and have a little bit of a,
Absolutely.
or if there's any financial implications, let us know. And then I think we can deal with it. And if council does, it'll still help this gentleman.
And I think that would be, your resolution would be to request the staff bring back a report on this particular item at the next council meeting, which we would then proceed and go and do that.
Ian's gonna second that.
I'd make that, yeah, or whatever.
Yes.
Okay, so Ian, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Make a motion.
Malcolm seconds it. All in favor?
There we go.
And I didn't know that we could do resolution. Wasn't,
It's a resolution as a result.
okay, I wasn't, look at that. Okay,
Yeah.
Yay.
It should be up.
done.
Should be, but
And that's why I'm confused, where it's at, I mean, where we're making this. It's all good. Okay, so we're gonna go into public input. Anyone online? Anyone in the gallery? Okay, you can go up to the podium, state your name, please.
Greg Augustin. I was curious as to why Sick Boost doesn't have dedicated food truck slots during the summer.
That point.
Dedicated food slot.
Yeah, food
Lots.
trucks. And
In our community, if a food truck wants to come in, they can come in and they can either talk to a business or talk to a district or talk to the staff at City Hall and, yeah, discuss that. I don't know.
just because all the other towns around us do dedicated slots from May till October for food trucks to park and they pay an extra fee for it.
Okay, go ahead,
the
Dean.
district of Sycamus hasn't pursued that as an option. The allowances in our zoning bylaw for private property allow for mobile vendors to be located on them instead of pursuing that on public property.
Yeah, which kind of makes a mess of the downtown area with all the food trucks fighting for the same spots, right? So why not give them zones up around like the Ball Diamonds and the rec center to set up?
So we do have a zoning bylaw update that's going to be considered by council. We'd encourage you to be a part of that process and bring that forward as your recommendation to council.
Oh.
That'll be in about a month. You'll see the zoning bylaw consultation could take place.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, anyone else? All right. Let's call adjourn the regular council meeting at 5:50. Can I get a Councillor Bailey and a Councillor Bushel all in favor? And great, we're done. Okay, bye Siobhan, bye Bob.
Bye.
Better, drive carefully.
Well.